Hostile broadcast detected.
Agents, welcome to our inaugural episode of Where the Heck Do I Start? The show that says there's a bunch of crap going on and I'm having a hard time connecting all the dots. But maybe we can begin at the classified assignment Manny Ortega put you on and see where things go from there.
Agent, Isaac has been compiling shade data fragments, tracking down glitches on the network. And it looks like we got a hit. The last known movements of Agent Monica Shapira. She went dark about a week ago. She was working east of the Liberty's Call safe house. If you get close, I think Isaac can triangulate her location.
Well, it turned out Agent Monica Shapira's last known ping was in the Library of Congress. So you guys figured a trip through the sewer and the abandoned pedestrian route of the US Capitol Tunnel would be better than knocking on the front door. Which was a good call, considering this log from said Agent Shapira.
Manny, I'm having some weird comms issues, so I don't know if you can hear this, but I'm working to the east of Capitol Hill, and man, these True Sun clowns never fail to disappoint. I've got a sergeant intent on purging the Library of Congress of knowledge with no value to America. Whatever the hell that means. I'm gonna put a bullet in him, but to be safe, I'm heading to the archives to download a full archive in case we need to recreate it all one day. Oh, and I can't be sure, but I think someone's been tailing me here. They're good, but I don't know. I can sense it.
You know, I've become so used to seeing True Sons defect from the faction that it's kind of rare to see them dig in over something crazy like a book burning club. They may be less tight-knit with Anderson gone, but these pockets of fascism can still be dangerous, especially ones that go these lengths to control knowledge. Now Shapira's stalker, that's another type of problem. Given the True Son's presence, the underground route allowed you guys to get the jump on them and easily work your way past electric fences, find secret passageways, and logs that explain the brainchild of this True Sun operation, along with some of its fallout.
Wallace, when'd you come over from the JTF? Just over 2 months ago, Sergeant. Right. I wasn't sure how you'd shape up, but you've been settling in. You can handle yourself in a skirmish, and you don't need too much. Now, I hear from the men you're an English professor. I taught English and creative writing at community college for a couple of years, but we really concentrated on adult literacy and... Let's save time and call that a yes. Fate sure has a way of putting tools in my hand. Sir, let me lay it out for you, Professor. This country has a sickness of intellectualism. Music teachers can call themselves doctors. Real doctors just spout bullshit to make you take a pill. But now, the Lord has put me in this building with the means to do something about it. You and me are gonna make a statement. So when we finally rebuild society, we build on solid ground. I want an audit of this library. All the books, all the files, all of it. And I want to know what's worth keeping. This is one of the biggest libraries in the world. And that's the problem. This library should only contain real, true, foundational knowledge, and nothing else. I mean math, I mean physics, I mean history. Some history. What we don't need here is poetry, art criticism, gender studies, and the like. Do you follow? Sir, the collection here is one of the biggest in the world. It would take decades. You've got weeks. I don't care how you do it, but the library computers all work, and you can use the men who ain't patrolling to dig shit out of the archive. Work something out, Professor.
Professor Chucklefuck. You've got a lot of guys pissed off.
Don't call me that. Why? What is it now?
Your burn list. You're giving us decimal code numbers for shit to get rid of and code numbers for shit to keep, but they overlap. No one wants to get on the sergeant's bad side, so I've got men fighting over whether something is biology or sociology.
Jesus, I thought I'd sorted that out. It's just not that simple. The last thing I'm trying to do is get everyone riled up.
Well, you ain't succeeding. Look, I'll level with you. The sergeant has never been a complex man. And since General Anderson took a bullet, I don't know where his head is at all. So what you need to do is give him a big bonfire of books, tell him what a good job you've done, and praise him for the wisdom of his idea.
But what he's asking for does not make sense, and it's not right.
Who gives a shit? You need to worry about your own ass, Professor. Between the sergeant and everyone else, you're in the shit.
Okay, Professor, you've got about a minute to explain the shit show you've created. I think I know what you want, but there's no one category that covers, well, anything. Use your common fucking sense. Why are we keeping all this shit? And this book here, To Kill a Mockingbird, is this foundational knowledge? What does anybody need a book about an idiot farmhand for? Are you thinking of a different book, sir? Are you testing me, Professor? I'm not trying to, sir. It's just like architecture has art in it. History has literature in it. There's no way of unpicking it all. And sir, I don't think we're doing future generations any favors by removing any of this, sir. Well, I should have seen this coming. Soldier.
Yes, sir?
Shoot this man.
I warned you.
Wait, you can't just...
Poor Professor. I'm pretty sure he at least got a proper burial. You were dealing with a special level of derangement with Sawyer. Someone that in the end would be more likely to tear down the whole library than let one single article escape. Which is why Manny's plan, much like Agent Shapira's, to download the digital archive was a strategic move. Even if Sawyer would be able to succeed in setting off the explosives he had set up, the backups with time and the right people would allow the library's catalogs to be rebuilt in a sense. After you guys successfully patched in and downloaded the archive, despite some resistance, Sawyer thought it best to just go ahead with his plan to just blow the building up. And he would have gotten away with it too, if it wasn't for you pesky kids and your ability to safely defuse explosives. With no other recourse left, Sawyer finally inserted himself into the story, only to have you close a chapter on the psychopath and the rest of his book-burning bozos. However, the adventure wasn't necessarily over, as you guys discovered an interesting plot device in the form of a key to an archive room. A solved puzzle later, and you'd be privy to an unfortunate twist of events.
So, this is where you hit it, Agent. Right under everyone's noses. Smart. Real smart.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We both know you do. Directive 51. The original document signed in 2007 in a fancy office about 3 miles from here. I thought you'd have it stashed in some, fantasy bubble room. But no, this is smart. Very smart. But you got wind of me, didn't you? You couldn't risk me getting hold of it, telling everyone about the small print, huh? So here you came. You led me right to it. Yes, you did.
Hey, I'm not here for any government documents, just a copy of the library archive. For the future.
Lying! Always thought you could trick me, huh? Always thought you were so smart.
Max, is that...
Damn. I've known Shapiro a long time. I'll send a retrieval team once the area is safe.
Sure seems like Agent Shapiro recognized this guy. Now I have no idea who he is, but we can gather a few things at least. For one, it's clear he can cover his tracks, even ones Shade Tech has compiled. And secondly, we have this.
Extremis malice. Extrema remedia. Extreme remedies for extreme evil. That's what they tell you, right? The division. They tell you you're killing to save what remains. And you get the fancy watch, and you get a computer that tells you how good you are at murder, and you just follow orders. So what they don't want you to think about, what they don't want you to think about is Directive 51. What does it actually order you to do? What's the wording? What law are you following? The world had to end for you to even get a mission, and you think you're on the right side of history. You want to know what I think about? Cui bono? Who benefits? Be seeing you.
Now, I know the division and its origins has its question marks, but this guy just seems to have an unhealthy obsession with Directive 51. Enough to kill someone he knows over something he thinks they know. I'm sure we haven't seen the last of this Mad Max, so when you catch him, make sure he dies historic. For Agent Shapiro. Speaking of historic, I was able to dig into another piece of the Shade archive I came across while here in New York. And I saw the early steps of an agent shortly after being activated, under the leadership of Lower Manhattan Section Chief Astrid Meyer. And it seems like he teamed up with a feisty former DEA agent turned Shade, Sarah Kelly. They worked together to escort a local community leader named Angela Chang, her nephew Kevin Zhang, and several other folks that were bunkering down at Chinatown's Spring Blossom restaurant through the onset chaos after the outbreak. Angela was thought to be an important piece of trying to get things stabilized and rebuilt, so it was vital for these agents to work their way through rioters and heavy gunmen in order to get the party to the Manhattan Bridge JTF checkpoint for further transport. Back then, the JTF might have been getting their butt kicked, but not these agents. After everything was settled, Agent Kelly demands a helicopter so they can get to good old Camp Hudson. My only concern is I really hope that agent's cat is all right and made it safely into a backpack. Someone else I hope is all right is the civilian that maybe got a little too nosy.
Should have come up from the cemetery. 395 still jammed. Has been since Christmas. Been out here almost an hour and haven't seen any sign of... Wait. Shit. Bulldozers coming up from the DC side. Clearing the road. Something moving up behind them. I can't see. Gonna get closer. Holy shit. What the hell?
Oof. I can't tell you what that was about exactly, but maybe I don't want to know. Nah, I want to know. Look, agents, I know we've covered quite a bit, and I didn't even get into details about your manhunt of the Draugr, the outcast that claimed he was put into a death-like coma state by the Dauer flu and woke up in a mass grave left for dead and mentally jacked up because of it. I realize I haven't laid it out all cleanly, and it doesn't help that you all are also dealing with escalations and retaliations, and now the Black Tusk has taken part in them, and shoot, they're even spilling into New York, and on top of that, they've formed a special kill squad.
Miss Sokol... Sorry, Nat. Pursuant to our conversation at the Leadership Summit last year, I'm sending you my thoughts on the creation of a high-speed, low-drag, rapid response team within BTSU. BTSU overall remains a highly agile force, unencumbered by traditional military bureaucracy, and is among the top tier of operators in the world. However, it's my belief that the organization would benefit from a small, unconventional unit capable of rapid infiltration of enemy-held territory for purposes of disruption, sabotage, and whatever psychological operations you see fit. Under my direction, such a unit would be an effective force multiplier, enhancing the operations of BTSU. Of course, membership in this unit would require a particular psychological profile. Following are my personnel suggestions for the pilot program, which I've dubbed BTSU Team 9. On receiving your go, I can have the team operational within 3 months.
These are busy, chaotic times, agents, and while I don't know where everything is headed, I do know I'll be watching.